Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of the Magic Arena Run. Today, as you can see, we're going to be doing a bit of a historic deck. I'm actually just polishing off the shine of an old deck that I used to play. You might have seen some versions of it before. It's kind of a pet deck that I usually always go back to whenever I run out of inspiration, and I'm pretty sure some of you will complain the moment you see it. But I want you guys to hear me out a bit. So, this is the deck that I've pretty much used almost all the time whenever in historic whenever I'm down in a rut. But I'm gonna be testing out something here. Right now, Jumpstart gave us a lot of interesting new tools, a lot of interesting stuff, and the boogeymen right now for historic, at least the ones that are getting attention, pretty much goblins. Elves not so much anymore. It was getting attention for a while, but it was more vulnerable. Goblins is really the big one. Ramp is still high up there even with bannings. So I'm trying to find a deck that has enough ways to answer a lot of the early stuff from goblins and have enough ways to punch through before an opponent is able to ramp up. So here's a quick look over the deck. We have the standard aggro package, 4 copies of Fervent Champion, 4 copies of Gitu Lava Runner, 4 copies of Vyashino Pyromancer, a few copies of Bone Crusher Giant. Then we have our mostly burnt package, the Grim Lavamancer, Shocks, a few Lightning Strikes, Skewer the Critics, Wizard's Lightning. There's a single Slaying Fire here. I originally had Torbrand back in the day, but over time I felt that every time I would cast Torbrand was more of clogging the deck up rather than actually being able to cast it. And the same goes with Embercleave. It's kind of a case of, because I'm running 2 different things in this deck, it's very hard to commit to one or the other. In that same reason, I eventually dropped the Runaway Steamkin. The problem with that one for me was that I would have 2 different lines of play. I would force one play because of Steamkin. I basically force the Steamkin out first because I can cast other stuff, and it never turns out well. Sure, our opponent either responds to it or our opponent is able to dump out a lot of stuff which I could have responded to if I held up the mana. That said, light up the stage is usually there. The secret sauce that I'm running here is a Mizium tank. So this is pretty much a way to get a little extra aggro from all the burn I'm running. And most of the time it's just a free 4 damage if I'm able to top deck a spell. If I top deck a creature, it's a free 3 damage. I don't have to worry if the creature has haste or not, or if the creature's gonna punch through or not. Like if I say top deck a Fervent Champion when there's not much left, or I'm facing down a board with like a bunch of 2/2s, I could just play this, crew this up, swing, and maybe get free extra damage. Blast Zone is pretty much here. It's a concession to mono white auras. Most if not all of their cards are pretty much 1 and 2 mana because they run Lurus as well. So Blast Zone is an easy way out of it. It's kind of an out against aggro also, but not so much because it scales all the way up to 4. Forgotten Caves are pretty much late game, though the way I've been drawing it seems like I keep drawing one early, so that's always been the tester for me. 18 Mountains. I ditched the Castle Embret, though I probably could have a few copies of it because I'm running this and this. If I was not running Blast Zone or Forgotten Cave, Castle Embret will be there. Then we have our sideboard, 2 copies of Alpine Moon. We're not going to be doing the sideboard for this one because for some strange quirk, I feel like if I were to play Best of 3, I need to add at least 1 more land. Maybe I'd cut the Slaying Fire here, move it to this. I'd cut the Slaying Fire here, or maybe cut the light. No, probably not the Lightning Strike. I might cut the Slaying Fire. I might even cut the Skewer to add another Lightning Strike. But if you want to check out this for Best of 3, cut something, add another land. And that said, 2 copies of Alpine Moon in case we run into the Field of the Dead matchup. 2 copies of Red Cap Melee. It's kind of an emergency out against Muxus. 2 copies of Goblin Crater Maker. It's kind of an out against Lucky Clover, Embercleave. Oh no, not Embercleave because that's not colorless. But it's kind of an extra creature. Basically, I'm assuming they're the decks with sideboard in the way that they'd either try to deal with my creatures or try to deal with the burn spells. So I do need extra creatures to put in case they side in like a Leyline of Sanctity. So there's a Goblin Crater Maker. I guess I could also put Leylines here as well. That's also a decent fit. Additional Bone Crusher Giant. That probably could get cut for that said Leyline. Flame Sweeps, Goblin matchup. Rampaging Ferocidon, Goblin matchup. Slaying Fire. If I feel like our opponent is mostly creatures, I would just put this in. And that's pretty much the deck. It's not a single mythic here. Well, I did cut out a bunch of stuff eventually. And how is this gonna go here? I am not so sure. But we're gonna try it out anyway. So historic events is 500 gold. You need to you need at least 4 wins to break even. So there's something to consider, but it's only gold, so it's not too bad. Let's give it a shot. I wonder what kind of decks I'd be running into it right now. What populates these events now? I am assuming Goblins will be a big draw here. Ramp is probably still gonna be a big draw there. I'm gonna assume that as well. Also, kind of, is my camera that foggy? Oh yeah, camera's a bit fogged up. Yeah, I think. And right off the bat, I am. Yuck. Not much action, but I can defend, and it's a Lurrus deck, so having 3 shocks is not so bad. I will keep this. We will play Fervent Champion. We will play the Fervent Champion first, start putting pressure. Now, the only big... Like, let's say our opponent plays Alseid, we just burn it. Okay. Now, take advantage of the fact that Shock's instant speed. Then it turns out our opponent is not playing the Mono White Auras deck, but I'm fairly certain it's Mono White Auras. We'll see. Also, our opponent does have a response, so Karametra's Blessing is a problem. We do want to get that out of the way, so if we can burn, we do. Let's see. Core Spirit Dancer, yeah, we will definitely burn. Shock that. Hushbringer, yeah, that's shock worthy. Shocking. So at least we get extra. Okay, we can save the Bone Crusher Giant for later if we still don't draw lands. But we at least are starting to put pressure now thanks to the 2 Fervent Champions. It's a bit of an oddball because it only interacts with itself. We don't exactly have any other way to interact with it. No Castle Embret here, but sometimes if you're able to draw 2 and start running it out against an opponent who has to start responding to your stuff, it's actually very good. Opponent goes Core Spirit Dancer. They probably will be able to draw a card off this. We get the free shock, but well, actually they lose 2 cards. They regain 1. I'm gonna shock now. Let's get rid of that Karametra's Blessing. It's kind of a guaranteed here. Could also be the Flash Aura. Yeah, Karametra's Blessing, that's a given. And yep, we're still whiffing on that. I'm gonna offer to swing because if for some reason they decide to block it, that's okay. But we will get damage through. We're more likely going to just skewer this critic. Go to damage. Be very careful with that mouse. You do not want to double click through that accidentally. Okay, so far so good. We managed to burn through some stuff. Our opponent's now halfway down in life. Opponent's now gonna try to get Lurrus in. Play a land. We still want to hit land. Nope, we're hitting burn. Now, they can recast permanents, so no Karametra's Blessing. But I guess you're... Okay, opponent drops... Definitely Lurrus. If not, it's interesting. That probably means they drew into it. The alternate play we can do is just start chucking the burn our opponent's face, which might be a problem if it's an Alseid. No Alseid here. Okay, Lurrus down. Opponent could replay Hushbringer or Core Spirit Dancer. Or they're gonna place... Glass Casket's also a possibility. Core Spirit Dancer, so... Okay, no need to hold this up. We're gonna just Bone Crush the Lurrus. Then we're gonna give our opponent the same offer. If they block it, if they decide to block it, it's free. It buys us time. In fact, it allows us to just light up the stage. No. Yeah, it's a good game. Having answers, very good. That's pretty much why it's kind of the reason why Mono Red, for everyone's complaints about it, you have to think of it this way. It's a deck that can apply pressure and can respond to your opponent's pressure. The problem is when you have decks that do very well in one thing but like they can keep putting pressure, but if their opponent's able to hold up against it and they start putting their own threats, you have nothing left to respond. On the other hand, if you're very good at responding but you're not able to put down your own threats, your opponent can just literally take their time. It's kind of a reason why I'm having a bit of a hard time with the Doom Foretold deck that I normally run in Standard. Also, losing most of the decks that I try to prey on, like some Wilderness Wreck decks. Yeah, losing the Luca decks. Those were the ones I used to prey on, or try to deal against, but not so much. So, okay. This is not such a great keep. If our opponent isn't Goblins, we literally only have a Slaying Fire. I probably will still keep this. I'm gonna run Lavamancer 1, see if we can light up the stage. Also, if they're... Okay, nope, it's not... So, no, it's not that. Yeah, I'm already starting... I really want to start cutting these now. I might just go straight mountains. No, believe me, these are good. It's just weird. Okay. No Disfigure. So, we will light up the stage. Fervent Champion, Grim Lavamancer, so we will run the land, we will run the other Grim Lavamancer. It opens us up to Allegiance End, but it gets that out of the way at least. Next turn we probably Fervent Champion, Forgotten Cave, pass, then cycle the other Forgotten Cave. That's one thing we could do. We can also Fervent Champion Blast. We can also Fervent Champion Blast Zone. Oh, sorry. Okay, opponent goes Cry of the Carnarium. Okay, not so bad. We'll try to hold on to these spells if we can, but we will definitely Blast Zone. Fervent Champion. I guess this is our opponent attempting to respond. Now I have to decide if I want to cast Pyromancer or just cycle the Forgotten Cave. I'm probably going to cycle first. Because next turn I'm more likely to just play the Mizium. I'm likely to just play Mizium Tank. Then start holding up. Because at least with Mizium Tank, our opponent's forced to interact at instant speed, though this deck probably has Eliminate. And I still have no idea what their main driver win is. I know this one's mostly Planeswalker style control with a lot of discard. Opponent's still thinking. The Grim Lava Man. Okay, opponent goes Kaya. So we will lose the Fervent Champion. That's okay. Yeah, this is a sort of Planeswalker control. So yeah. We might have to go Pyromancer first before they start eating our graveyard. Or our opponent could start eating our graveyard now, which is be a problem. It'll force us to throw Slaying Fire and swing with Fervent Champion. Opponent is deciding. Yeah, they're gonna exile that. We'll cycle. Got ourselves a Gitu Lava Runner, but no way to benefit from it. Not right off the bat. I will just Pyromancer Lava Runner Forgotten Cave, unless we draw something else. Nope, that's the plan. In fact, I might actually just hold on to. I might hold on to the Lava Runner. I'll just play the Forgotten Cave now. Let's hold up a Shock. Because one thing we can do is, if we're not in such a rush... But this is definitely Big Teferi draws a card. We need to punch this down. So I will dump the shock. He'll draw a card, he'll untap for 2, probably an eliminate. We will have the option for Slaying Fire anyway, or that. No responses, that's good for us. We will play Mizium Tank. Opponent might have a no negate, okay. So at least this one is able to put some pressure. Regular Teferi can bounce it, but otherwise our opponent has a bunch of, probably has a bunch of rats. Another Teferi takes this up to 5. We can Slaying Fire. We could Slaying Fire, hit our opponent, then okay, Wizard's Lightning also does the trick. So let's say our opponent counters this, and an Absorb is probably coming. We still get to swing with these two onto. We still get to swing with these two. Yeah, there's the Absorb. We'll let that resolve. But we still get the Mizium Tank. Then we're going to swing. Swing. 2 Teferis down. No. That said, we're not quite off the hook yet. We're only starting to apply a little pressure, but let's say our opponent drops a Dream Trawler, that's an issue. We would need running burn spells. Opponent drops another land, that's 7 mana. What are other problem cards we could face? Need to consider. It's been a long time since I last dealt with the fairy that I really don't remember what to expect. I'm probably expecting a rat effect right now. That's probably the most common thing. Surprised I haven't seen ways to draw extra cards. Yeah, also I'm holding on to this Pyromancer because I might have to just run this out, then just crew the Mizium Tank. It's not so bad. The other thing I'm also concerned about is that my connection might have disconnected at this point. Nope. It's not my... It's our opponent's connection, not mine. I could actually just cast a burn spell now, but we're gonna be patient. And wait for our opponent to reconnect. I'm suspecting that's kind of what happened. Oh, opponent's back. Could also be that they're flooded. Usually I would have expected a search for Ascanta earlier. Also, let's see what are things we'd worry about. Mastermind's Acquisition. Opponent's going to go for something. I suspect they're going for Kaya's Wrath. They do have the mana to cast it. Yeah, I haven't search for... No, they went for Search for Ascanta. Okay. So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9... Let's go with the Bone Crusher Giant first. Probably should have manually tapped that. That was a mistake. I'm expecting a counter spell. No counter. I might be expecting a Brazen Borrower actually. So what I would do is I'll swing first with this one. Opponent probably bounces the Mizium Tank. I probably will just end up replaying the Mizium Tanks. Opponent's taking their time. Alternately, let's, because 1, 2, 3, 4. This is only 7. Could have been 8. 9, 10. Yeah, not. Could have been 8 damage. I rely too much on the auto tapper. Opponent goes Healing Grace. Prevent the next 3 damage that will be dealt this turn by a source of your choice. Choose a source. Okay, gain 3 life. What source did he... what source was prevented? Oh, by source of your choice. Okay. So... 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, we'll hit. Some of the damage is prevented. I'm gonna put some pressure on our opponent by dropping the... No, you know what? No need to put that pressure. Our opponent's in not enough pressure already. They already have to start digging for cards with Search for Ascanta. Yeah, being able to deal with back-to-back Teferi is good. Kaya's Wrath, that was a given. Now, we need to know what their last card is. Here's the interesting thing. Let's say this is a counter spell. They will also need... They're down to 1 card. They need to answer the tank now. But if they... Yeah, they need to answer both things, and it's not that easy. Good thing I didn't run out the Bone Crusher. There was no need to. If you know your opponent's forced to cast a Wrath with what you have on board, don't give them more reason to Wrath the board. Okay, Adamant. There you go. We got ourselves a win there. Whew, that was a bit harrowing for me. I was legitimately concerned there. Only because it's been such a long time, but that's pretty much what we do. We try to prey on the decks that take too long. At least that's the plan. So far we're at 2 wins. We're trying to push things through. Did I put up the splash screen? No, I did not put up the splash screen. I keep making things that I keep forgetting. Okay, there you go. So yeah, so for those who are wondering what's inside the deck, this is what you got here. We're running regular historic best of 1. I haven't play tested enough best of 3. Also, I haven't really tested sideboard that much. Okay, we're definitely keeping this. Lava Runner turn 1 is always a go. And if our opponent happens to have something to block, we do have the Wizard's Lightning. If our opponent happens to burn the Lava Runner, c'est la vie, so be it. Sometimes that's how it works out. Yeah, weather's not so great right now. That's why I'm sometimes wondering... I'm always having this concern that I might be disconnected and I have no idea. They said in recent updates that there's a better queue, but I still haven't seen it quite yet. More importantly, my other concern is along the lines of... Yeah, my mouse is about to run out of batteries. Yes, wireless mouse. It's something I bought before. Ended up using quite a bit because it's really fine. Let's see. Okay, got the light up. Tank into Blast Zone, not so great. I will just play the Blast Zone and pass. I get to decide if I want to play tank next turn or not, depending on what our opponent drops. Stitcher Supplier. It's a reanimation style deck. I can... Or it's a sack deck based with benefits from Stitcher. Okay, since I know I have multiple Wizard's Lightning and whatnot, yeah, opponent's definitely gonna block that. They value card. Oh no, he's not gonna block it. Okay, we're gonna play the Mizium tank now because we can kind of start benefiting. Worst case scenario, our opponent answers Lava Runner. We can play Lava Runner. Do part 2. Steamroll with tank. Okay, so Wizard's Lightning. And probably still want to save the lava. Wait, actually, you don't need to save the lava runner that much. Reason being is that we could just hard cast the lightning if we have to. It's not the best play. Opponent's taking it. I'm suspecting that they're hoping to hit. I'm guessing they're hoping to hit Priest of the Forgotten Gods. They do have quite the. They are Legion's End. Okay, that's one way to deal with these. So next turn, Forgotten Cave, Lightning Light Up, or Lightning Light Up, then see if we have anything to cast afterwards. Okay, Bone Crusher Giant. Okay, so tap these two. Wizard's Lightning our opponent. Light up the stage. Hit another Wizard's Lightning. Can't cast that, but we can cycle. Opponent does need to start blocking because of the trample. He will take 3 damage, go down to 4. But we have enough damage on. But we have enough damage on standby now. So I guess, yeah, I guess that's it. Yeah, has to claim the Firstborn, though can't claim it if it's not active. Does have Croxa, so yeah, good game. He didn't hit the did not hit the black mana. Croxa might have been an issue, but I probably would have just discarded the Forgotten Cave. Take the 3. Had enough mana already to do the to throw burn. So we're now at 3 wins. We're 1 win away from breaking even in historic. Yeah, one more win and we break even on our cap buy-in, so that's good. So what are we've yet to see a goblin deck. I see a lot of them in ranked. In fact, I've run into, and most of the time it's really a game of can we keep our opponent off a Muxus? Or if our opponent hits Muxus, does he whiff? We're definitely keeping this. I'll probably just run Lava Mancer. It's a nice juicy burn target. But also we might want. Let's see if our opponent goes for it. No, get to Lava Runner. So okay. So not a great use of Wizard's Lightning. But at least this way there we go. We get some extra juice for Grim Lava Mancer. Now that said, I really could use another red source. Otherwise, I'm just throwing the shock and the skewer at our opponent. Opponent goes Pyromancer. Okay, so we're gonna throw the shock here, then the skewer here. Or shock here. Fervent Champion. Get some extra damage in. And we should have a little bit of gas for Grim Lava Mancer. Though yeah. Goblin Chain Whirler wipes our board. Worst thing that could happen. Skewer the critics, not so bad. It was bound to happen anyway. So we will play the Blast Zone. I guess I could play this now, but I'm really concerned our opponent has Chain Whirler. It's actually the one card in. It's the one card from Dominaria I've only gotten a single copy of. Okay, Fanatical Firebrand's there up there too. Opponent snipes that. That's fine. We're gonna bring this up to 3 because yeah, we're really aiming for Chain Whirler. And if our opponent say drops Torbrand, it's just one step away. hit another blast zone. We'll play the mountain. Play Pyromancer, get some early damage in. This is the part where, yeah, we kind of stalled out. It creates an argument for playing Grim Lavamancer late instead of early. But that couldn't be helped. So definitely trying to take Blast Zone up the tree. It will leave us open to a bunch of twos, but we do have another Blast Zone if we need to prep that one up. And we're running mountains galore. Mizium, well, only because of the board state. Mizium tank is not so bad. I do want to keep this at 1. I know our opponent's likely to run Runaway Steamkin and Pyromancer, but they also have Firebrand Lava Runners, so I'm gonna hold on to that. Hit our own Skewer. I'm gonna hold on to this first. Because I'm dinging our opponent for 3, just does that, ding our opponent for 3. Let's see, does he play anything else? Pass. Yeah, we'll pull the trigger on this now. Let's make our... Because it's highly unlikely our opponent's gonna drop another one. Oh wow. Here comes them lands. I probably should start holding back, but Mono Red doesn't have a way to punish the hand. I used to run Risk Factor as my go-to card draw. Other ways of drawing cards would... I used to run Risk Factor. I used to run Chandra. Experimental Frenzy, not so much, but I guess it fits better now because I'm not running the Torbrands anymore, so that will literally just be the top end. Experimental Frenzy might work out. I probably should save a copy or two. I think our opponent's is waiting for the moment to unload on us. I'm literally just playing creatures one at a time, see if our opponent responds. It is eating his burn spells one at a time, which is fine. And I don't have Infuriate. If I were more creature-centric, I probably would run Infuriate and Embercleave. In fact, if I cut half the burn package, I would... Okay, opponent is now gonna go face. So let's assume each of these is 3 damage. So we could... Okay, so this... Let's assume this takes us down to, 6. I don't want to drop the Skewer yet because our opponent... No, who am I kidding? Let's drop the Skewer now. Because it's already much closer. If our opponent does the math, it might incentivize him to drop the Fervent Champion instead of me. Yeah, no, he's going for us. So possible that there might be a... Oh, not... Yep. He spends 1 there, so that's good. We're not going to spend the Wizard's Lightning quite yet because we just need to draw into a burn spell. Slaying Fire is good. Pay Adamant. And there we go. We managed... Yeah, we survived. And and sometimes we get these runs of, oh, draw mountain, draw mountain, draw mountain. Well, thank goodness our opponent was also stuck there. It literally could have gone either way. And also thankful that our opponent was spending their burn on our creatures, though they kind of had no choice. The Gitu Lava Runner would have done a number on our opponent if left unchecked. He did spend a Lightning Strike on that. Spent the Shock on our Viashino Pyromancer. But sometimes that's the price you pay. Just have to anticipate what the board would be. But even then, in that case, it was literally who could stop drawing lands. Now, okay, we already hit our 4 wins, so yeah, we already broke even there. That's good for us. What do I want? Well, more wins. I also want to try against Goblins. Maybe not against such a nut draw, or it's usually the case of where we lose is if I have a hand of Lava Runner, Pyromancer, etc. Double light up the stage, not so bad, but we do need to keep up burn in case, yeah, that's probably Goblins. So we're probably gonna throw Shock, let's see, especially Castle Embret. There's the Snoop. I will comment that the way it reflects cards in hand seems to be a bit weird, especially if it's picking up cards from the top. So opponent goes Matron, which is bad because even if we were to Bone Crusher this one, we might... Let's see what our opponent gets. We might be more incentivized to drop Bone Crusher and that. But the problem is, let's say our opponent has placed Skirk. Okay, he's going for the Muxus. I guess we do throw this here. Because next turn I'm just gonna drop this. Our opponent has to drop a running set of creatures like Instinct. Okay. Krenko Mob Boss is not it. That's the good news. So Skewer. Always use the sorcery first given the choice. And let's see if we can gas up here. It's also an argument for running Ratchet Bomb as a sideboard tech because our opponent generates a ton of tokens. So our scare point is if our opponent gets 2 running lands or starts dropping Wily Goblins and or Skirk Prospectors. There's the Wily Goblins, so opponents... And there's a Skirk Prospector. We need to deal with both. I'm gonna offer the trade. Yes, I want our opponent to block with 1. That's fine. Because we then Pyromancer, light up, Wizard's Lightning. We'll Pyromancer first and light up, see if we can get something cheaper. That said, we probably could still... Okay, Lightning Strike Mountain. No choice, we have to burn this one now. Opponent could sack it in response, but it does the same thing for me. So if our opponent hits land number 6, okay, they do. Yeah, this is the point where I start going for my sideboard. Oh, they're going for Goblin. Okay, they're going for Goblin Matron first because they want to drop insurance that they can swing immediately. So they're looking for a Goblin Chieftain or a Goblin War Chief. Or Gem Palm Incinerator. Okay. Yeah, he's trying to draw cards. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This will automatically block this. There's no doubt about that. So, no choice. We have to throw this here. And this is where we hope that our opponent did not hit doesn't hit everything that they want with Muxus. It's literally top 6 cards, but it's still busted. And at least we force our opponent to actually play it now without any other support. This is not good. He hits both Krenko and War Chief, so it's for every other goblin. Oh, he doesn't swing. Okay. So we will lose a bunch of our stuff. No, there's no way around it. But I have no choice but to force our opponent to pare down their board. Yeah, that's kind of what I expected. So not so great for us. We were hoping for a burn spell. Castle Embret would work better now. But yeah, I guess this is good game already. But it's a no choice attack. If we let opponent place another War Chief, probably wants to make tokens first. Okay, so 4, 5. Is this every for each other? Hits another Krenko. Yeah, that's good game. Blast Zone not being able to hit tokens is a problem. So yeah, good game. And opponents take okay. If our opponent's gonna play around like that, we'll just concede. But the point is already very clear. If you cannot, we need to have the burn. That's why I have the single copy of Slaying Fire. I would sideboard in the other tree. I drop the skewers. The shocks would still be valuable. Basically, if it's either 4 damage or instant speed. And sometimes, if in the case of Muxus, because it can go live immediately, it might have to be both. That's why Slaying Fire. Lava Coil. It's been quite a while since I played Lava Coil. So this one is not so good, but we're on the draw. So we're knocking on wood to draw 1 mountain. Otherwise, I just play Forgotten Cave, pass, next turn. Yeah, this is the only problem with running these utility lands. And our opponent's, well, we're getting the matchup we wanted, just not the cards that we needed. I might even be forced to... Okay, definitely have to shock the Skirt Prospector. It's actually a good reason to... Okay, that one came late. But we're definitely shocking the Prospector now. We're not waiting for our opponent to... Because this is literally turn 3 on the board. So we're going to force our opponent to find another Prospector. And we could at least Pyromancer Skewer. There's a Goblin Chieftain, so we'll take 6 damage. This is also the other way we die. Can't help that. Also sad that we need to find an opportunity to play Lavamancer because we need to start using our graveyard cards as fuel for this. Krenko Mob Boss. Ooh. Drew a burn spell. That's good. We're forced to play this one. Also note our opponent's been ticking up on mana, so this is probably where it gets problematic. No, we'll play Lavamancer. I need to start burning things. I could also offer the Pyromancer to trade with an Instigator. Most likely just... But our life total is quite low already, that actually holding this back as a blocker is probably better. Yeah, opponent's offering to trade. Now, it's still for naught if our opponent has Gem Palm Incinerator. We... does have the Matron. Muxus for the last land. Yeah, because most of the time what we're able to do now is bring our opponent Muxus free. Instigator. Okay, so... Pyromancer, because we need to hit that light up. So... I was gonna say I was looking for land. I was not looking for all lands. And... yeah, we need to start pinging stuff also. If we're fortunate... yeah, Blast Zone doesn't... It's really... wrong matchup. I really should put Ratchet Bomb. It's really perfect for this one. Opponent hits Wily Goblin, so that's bad. Our opponent is guaranteed to hit Muxus next turn. Hoping our opponent attacks, I am willing to trade Pyromancer. Creator Maker would be... yeah, it's literally just for the tokens. Now what I'm doing here is holding up the mana in case our opponent just hits a single chieftain or war chief. If he bricks there, I can at least snipe that, keep them from attacking. Let's offer the lava runner. Probably just gets true because our opponent's in a healthy life total. I'm just trying to offer as many trades as possible. Fervent Champion's probably a better offer. Then yeah, we also get to crack blast. Okay, here comes the Grandee. Let's see what he hits. Snoop Snoop. Wily Goblin. Chieftain's upcoming, so not there yet. Actually, there's no point in hitting Chieftain. In fact, I'd rather just save the gas for the Chieftain. Okay, so we're definitely gonna trade with the tokens. Opponent sees what's up. In fact, our opponent might as well not attack. I would just block with the Pyroman. I actually block with both. There's no reason not to. It's a weird trade, but it's a trade that's gonna happen no matter what. So we hit the light up. That's good. Fortunately, I can't cast. I can swing with Lava Runner, offer Lavamancer. It probably just trades with the token, so I'm gonna pass. Okay, opponent has Chieftain. That's gonna come down. We get to Now our opponent might as well just start swinging with Muxus. He will hit for 6. And I probably will just block with Fervent Champion. It gives me a little extra gas. No trample, thank goodness. So I need to... A single Slaying Fire may be great. That's not so great. I'm just gonna cast a light up straight up. Let's see if we can dig for something. We hit the skewer, we hit another light up. I'm now gonna offer Lava Runner. Our opponent knows that if he lets this, he only needs to block with 1 though. No, he's gonna take it. So first, light up the stage. Fervent Champion Wizard's Lightning. Next, skewer the critics. Cash in Lavamancer. Still not over yet. Our opponent could top deck another Muxus, but things are looking up a little bit better now. Yeah, definitely have to throw the burn now. I have no plans of blocking with Lavamancer anyway. Opponent could actually just start pumping these tokens, Castle Embrit style. In fact, that's what I'm expecting to see. Yeah, he's gonna start pumping. So we're gonna take 6 damage. So, Fervent Champion. Wizard's Lightning, because we're gonna lose that anyway. Nope. Can't hold that thought. And let's see if our opponent drew Muxus number 2. It's 3 out of 41. No, they didn't. We managed to survive this one. No, we actually did get... No, the truth is we got lucky that everything our opponent hit with Muxus had a CMC of 2. If it was a mix of 2s and 3s, we'd be in real trouble. All 2s, not so bad, and we did manage to get enough burn for the Grandee. So 2 more wins to complete this run. But we're actually doing quite well. I wouldn't say I feel validated, but it feels great. It's still an uphill battle, let's be honest. But at least give yourself a fighting chance in said battle. Definitely gonna keep this. Oh gosh, no. We're probably gonna lose this one. Well, we will be able to snipe one thing, but unless we start drawing running burn spells, we're in real trouble. Also, our opponent goes first. Yeah, this is the matchup where the tank still gets to shine, but not if you draw it this early. Though I could see an argument for... Okay, at least we... No, take it back. We do get to go first. So next turn, we will play second Lavamancer, play the Lizard's Light. Oh no, it's artifacts. So we need to hold up against an all that glitters. Actually, Tempered Steel is bad for us because these guys would be out of reach for the most part. But let's see if our opponent goes all that glitters. Danto Vanguard. Oh, it's that kind of aggro. I guess we can wait. We can drop the tank. We can swing with the other tank. My only concern is, if let's say I play the tank now, we're leaving ourselves wide open, but we don't exactly have gas here. I'm just gonna, and we need to start forcing our opponent to respond. So we're gonna tank it up. So do that. Hopefully we draw another land that's actually. I could swing with the Lavamancers, force our opponent pay 4 life. I don't mind blocking the Vanguard just to make our opponent start losing life. It's not a... It's probably the case where I feel like the new one from M21 might be better. But let's see. If this is Tempered Steel, we're gonna... That's gonna be over and up. It's a friend's birthday, so everyone's greeting on this channel. And you can tell if I'm doing this pre-recorded, I'm not doing this live. Normally, if I'm doing this live, my phone would be up here. I'd have to actually move my camera a bit just to make room. It's actually interesting. The camera kind of grip. My phone keeps the camera up. That said, oh, Staggering Insight. Not so bad. We can. It's still in burn range. So, okay, it's not in burn range anymore. Okay, we are going to make our opponent pay 4 life. Our opponent's going to gain some of that life back. That's the thing that stings. Also has... Okay, so yeah, we're also because we need to start filling up this yard. Draws a card, not bad. So the... Okay, so the plan now, we did not draw land. So I'll actually just play the cave. Play tank number 2. Then start chaining these spells to get the aggro that way. Will it work through the... If it were all that glitters, it wasn't gonna work. This one's probably better, at least. So now we have a plan of sorts. Definitely gonna keep this Lavamancer alive. We kind of needed to chain these two. Or I could draw another land and that would be moot. If our opponent plays Lurus now, we definitely want to chain these 2 spells. Opponent taking some damage. I guess they're going to go for another Staggering Insight, probably. Curious Upset. Okay. OG Insight. At least he didn't stack it up here, because the Okay, we're off to the races. So our opponent's going to be at 14 life. So I need to do some math here. I need to see. We can take our opponent down to. It's Core Spirit Dancer. Okay, we will need to throw the. We will need to throw it as burn. Okay, there's a light up the stage. So I have to actually throw this here first. Let's trigger these two. Gives us a light up the stage. It also forces our opponent to probably consider blocking. Okay, we do hit the mountain. So it actually incentivizes us to just stomp the Spirit Dancer, get out of there. So now we have... This is, okay, potentially lethal. Our opponent is forced to block. Yeah, Mizium tank all the way. It has trample, you know. Oh wait, let's save that. Yeah, that's 12 damage, true. I was expecting you to block with this one. The lifelink would have kept you alive. Mizium tank for the win. Yeah, I think our opponent did not expect trample. Well, let's be fair. Did anyone really play Mizium tank back in the day? No. I guess that's kind of why it's a pet card of mine. It's something that I enjoy throwing around. And being able to chain all those effects. Ugh. There we go. So we're one win away. We can afford to lose once. So we'll see if we get this one through. We're actually very close. Yeah, it's been quite a while. And I'll admit, many people don't like to see this one, but you can't just keep complaining about decks. You have to accept the fact that some decks exist to keep other decks in check. And sometimes the decks are designed to go up against other decks. It feels bad to lose, but then again, if that's how highly you think about your skills or your deck creation, it should not be a problem. It should be something you should be able to overcome. If you can't overcome that deck design, then it's back to ye old drawing board. Don't be afraid to reiterate. It's also, I will admit, it's probably why I'm kind of stalled on standard now, but also because I know rotation's coming up, so it's kind of stalled there also. So I'm definitely keeping this one. Lures again. Okay. So at least we go Lava Mancer turn 1. Yeah. Hoping to draw another red source so I can... Well, if our opponent attacks, that's fine too, because that means I can swing first. Light up the stage. Hope to all that's good, I actually do draw a mountain. Then pass the turn. This is the moment where our opponent has the chance to buff or drop a Core Spirit Dancer. Holding back, eh? Thinking about it. Yeah, Spirit Dancer. Yeah, shock that. I guess the reason our opponent decided to hold back was so that we whiff on the light up, which is plausible. If I could literally just throw the burn, but I'm going to actually just throw the Fervent Champion. I actually should have just thrown the Lava Runner swung through. You know what? We'll swing with both. No, we will not swing with both. I'm okay with losing light up if that's the case. Let's see if our opponent sacks. No, they're not even giving up the Ginger Brood. The reason is because we're only down to 1 burn spell, so there's that. So we're trying to see what our opponent plays out. If he just plays Ginger Brute Deuce, so we want to Sentinel's Eyes. Okay, still a 2/2, not so bad. Sentinel's Eyes, so 2/2, so we're gonna take 4 damage. So we know we're gonna lose the Wizard's Lightning, so might as well cast it now. That's 4. So yeah, it doesn't matter which one, they're all spells. Yeah, burn it now while we still have the chance. We will play our one of many lava runners. Actually, the alternate plan, it would have lost us mana, but it would saved us on spells, would have been to just sack the blast zone. But if our opponent's going to go for 3 and 1, at least it gives us the option. I probably would just throw this skewer on regular. Let's see if our opponent has another. No, it doesn't have another drop. Okay. So we're going to hold this up. It's also possible our opponent is holding something like Karametra's Blessing. It just means that it just means our opponent concedes. Okay. So there we go. We managed to complete very decent run at that. I actually feel a lot happier now. You guys might not be so happy with the deck choice, but it performs. It's relatively fast. And at least with certain matchups, I feel like there's still hope. It doesn't feel like a dead end. So that's kind of what I'm looking for. Yeah, wish for what is best. Anyway, that's it for this episode of the Magic Arena Run. If you like what you saw, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Turn on notifications and whatnot. Please do follow me on YouTube. You can also follow me on Facebook. I do streams every Sunday, 6 a.m. Pacific. No, 7 a.m. Pacific, if I'm not mistaken. I really have to remember that. I'm sorry, I'm not familiar with the time zones over there. Anyway, that's it for this episode. Thank you very much for watching. I hope to see you guys again next time. Take care. God bless. Stay safe wherever you are. And what did we get here? I've actually been considering this as a tech for a certain deck, but we know that's not historic, so that's not it. Well, this is my very first Teferi that was not a giveaway from the Arena Beta. And the post deploy. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. I hope to see you guys again next time. Yeah, peace.